أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says في كتابه الكريم, and your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him, and that you be dutiful to your parents, and if one of them or both of them attain old age in your life, say not to them a word of disrespect, nor shout at them, but address them in terms of honor. And that's incredibly important. That ayat alone, without even looking at the tafsir, and we're about to look at the tafsir in Tafsir al-Tabari, some of the benefits regarding this ayat. But that shows us from the zahir of the ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts together some of the greatest things that we can, the greatest forms of worship, the greatest deeds that we can do. The first being Tawheed, worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in the beginning of the ayat, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and your Lord has decreed for you, or your Lord has commanded you to not worship anyone except Him. And then, coupled along with that worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah links together Tawheed. This is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And to your parents, be righteous and kind and respectful and dutiful to your parents. Imam at-Tabari says regarding this, after speaking extensively about the beginning of the ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ, that your Lord, he says, your Lord has commanded you and guided you to this, to the command of worshiping Him and Him alone. So no shirk, is prohibiting shirk. And then moving on to the next part of the ayat, Imam Tabari, he says, وَقَوْلُهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And then he said, and the statement where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and to your parents, be dutiful to your parents. He says, Allah has commanded you to be righteous and good to your parents, to exhibit righteousness and kindness and respect. And this is the meaning of being dutiful to your parents. And then the Imam, after speaking about issues regarding the Arabic language pertinent to this ayat, he says, and that he mentions a hadith after the latter part of the ayat. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, and to your parents, to the parents be dutiful. And then he says, إِمَّا يَبْلُغُنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدُهُمَا أَوْ كِلَاهُمَا. And then where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if one of them or both of them attain old age in your life. And then he, وَقَوْلُهُ فَلَا تَقُولْ لَهُمَا أُفًّا, and do not say to them a word of disrespect. So Imam at-Tabari, he then said that you should not say a word of disrespect, anything to them, when you see from them, one of them, or you see from both of them, or you experience harm from them. You see that possibly, perhaps, they may speak harsh with you. They may be impatient with you. They may even hit you. They may do things that seem disrespectful to you. But that you should not even utter the word uff, even the slightest word of disrespect to your parents, to one of them or either of them, even if they are causing harm to you. And then Imam Tabari, he says, وَلَكِنْ أَصْبَرْ عَلَى ذَلِكَ مِنْهُمَا. He said, but however, you should be patient with that from them. وَاحْتَسِبْ فِي الْأَجْرِ صَبْرَكَ عَلَيْهِ مِنْهُمَا كَمَا صَبَرَا عَلَيْكَ فِي صَغِيرِكَ. Beautiful kalam min Imam Tabari. He said, So he said, but rather, so instead, even if you receive harm from them, he said, but rather be patient with that from them. And seek the reward for your patience from them that you will gain by being patient with them. Your patient will be rewarded. So seek that reward from Allah. Similar to the way that they were patient with you when you were a child. That's a beautiful kalam from Imam At-Tabari. And then he says, Ahla ta'wil, meaning the people of tafsir. They also mention, he mentioned some athar of the Salaf from an athar that was on Mujahid in his explanation, one of the Salaf of this ummah, one of the students of, he's one of the tabi'een, one of the students of the Sahaba, radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een, he said regarding this ayat that you should not speak a word of disrespect to them. He said that if they become of old age while you're still alive, and even if they urinate, and even if they that they are, even if they urinate, akramakum Allah, or you know, use the restroom, akramakum Allah, that you should not even if they're doing something that seems that is looked down upon because they're maybe urinating on themselves or defecating on themselves, that you should not even say a word of disrespect. And then Ibn Jurayj on Mujahid, he said regarding this, that if they receive the same verse, he said, if they reach an old age, then do not say a disrespectful word, even if you see harm from them. And even if they are excessive, meaning they use the restroom excessively, they urinate and they defecate, or they prolong their time while they're doing this. Meaning that the shahid here is that you're patient with them during this time of old age when they are reduced to being like children.